Hello again, and this is my second video that I promised in the last one from the number game, and now I'm going to show you HangMan. So let's take a look. This one took me a little bit longer than the number game, but it's not quite 200 lines long, it's about 160 lines long. And I did a couple neat things in here, but I'll take you through them after I actually show you the game itself. So again, you get a nice little welcome screen. Welcome to HangMan. Good luck. And you can see the little gallows and your guesses, which I haven't guessed anything yet, so it's blank. And we can see my puzzle, and I'm prompted to guess a letter. The puzzle is actually random. It reads it in all the available puzzles from a file, which I'll show you later, and then it randomly chooses one of those puzzles. So I know what all these are, but let's pretend like you didn't. First guess, an I. Let's try to get that middle one. My caps lock is on. An I. And we got an I, so we can see my one guess so far is an I, and there actually was an I, so it's right there. Next guess, an S. Hey, there's an S in there. Gets filled into the puzzle, and it gets added to the guess list. Okay, I know what this puzzle is. Let's just guess a Z, because I know that's not in there. And I missed a Z. It gets added to the guess list. Nothing in the puzzle changes, but as you can see in our little gallows, poor little guy is starting to get hung. Uh-ohs. Let's go with another letter. Let's go with Let's go with M, just to show you something. M, not in the puzzle. But if you take a look at the guesses, M is now actually in between I and S. It wasn't added to the end of the list. Instead, it's in alphabetical order. So for all the guesses, after you guess, it resorts all those letters to put them in alphabetical order to make it a little bit easier to see what you've already guessed. And I'll show you how I did that. It's not very special at all, but I'll show you a little later. I thought that was neat. Makes it a little easier on the user. But let's just solve this puzzle. J, A, B. Java is what? Oh my gosh. Java is cool. It sure is. Wah, wah. And as you can see, I saved my man, and congratulations, you've solved the puzzle. Hooray! Would you like to play again? And if you select yes, a new puzzle is randomly selected for you. Technically, it could be the same one, but luckily, it wasn't the same one in this instance. I wonder what this puzzle is. Hello, world. Dun, 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 dun. And flawless on that one. And I got it again, see, so you can see sometimes the puzzles can repeat. But let's miss it. Let's say, I don't know what it could be. Oh, could be anything. Uh-oh. My guy's getting hung. It's no good. Throw you a bone. Hey, you got one right. B, V, W. Uh-oh. It's not looking good for him. And as you can see, the letters are getting sorted as I go. What's another letter? Q. Maybe there's a Q in there. The solution was hello world. I didn't guess it right, and I failed. Failure, another demeaning message. Womp womp. And that's pretty much HangMan. No, I don't want to play again. Goodbye. So let's look at some of the things I've done in the code. I won't go through all of it, just some of the neater things I put in there. Let's see. The first thing is how it actually gets the puzzle. I started by just hard-coding it in there, all the different puzzles that could be available. But instead I'm reading it in from this file, puzzles.txt. So go open that file really quick. And you can see all these puzzles I have in here. Hello World, which we saw. Java is cool, which we also saw. Zach is awesome. Obviously, anyone could have guessed that one. And Social Network was okay. I actually just saw that movie a couple days ago. Everyone's been asking me, have you seen Social Network? You'd love it because programming and stuff. And I actually did see it, and yeah, it was okay. It was okay. So, that's that. If you wanted to add a new puzzle in here, you know, whatever, hello, yada yada yada, whatever you want to add in there, you could add it in here, save this file, run the program again, and it might get a chance to pull that puzzle. So I thought that was kind of cool. And if you wanted to do words, you know, just guess words, you can pull in like a dictionary file which has all the words in the dictionary, and just feed that file to this program, and then you would have an infinite, almost infinite number of puzzles to have fun with. So that's one thing I thought was kind of neat with this program. Another thing was how the actual puzzle works. Let me run it again. So at the bottom you see this list of dashes, and that's Social Network was okay. You see this list of dashes, so when you guess a number, we'll go S, it fills in the S's, and everything else is still dashed out. So how did I do that? How are only the S's showing and all the rest are dashed out? I kind of went through a couple of solutions trying to figure out how I could possibly make that work. And actually the end solution, what I actually ended up coming up with, was pretty eloquent. And it's only a couple lines long, so I was pretty proud of that actually. The first one I tried was like 20 lines long, and I was like, this is horrible. There's got to be a better, easier way to do this, because it's getting ridiculous. So I came up with this. Try to explain a little bit. Let's see. Well, the first thing that I have in my program is a list of all my guesses. And every time I guess a new character, I check to see if that's in the answer, that puzzle. And if it is, I add that character to my correct. I think I have a thing called correct. Yeah. I have a thing called correct. It's a string, I think. We'll call it a string. A string correct, which has all of the correct letters in it, that are actually in the puzzle. So if you guess and the letter is actually in the puzzle, then it gets added to correct. And we have this thing, it's kind of confusing, I won't explain it to you if you don't know anything about programming, you won't understand it, but basically it takes a regular expression and it replaces all the characters that are not in the game correct string with a dash. So if my correct string, in this instance in the bottom here, it only has S in it, so when it does this, executes this replace all, it will replace every letter that isn't an S in this case with a dash. So as you can see, when it redid the puzzle, it replaced everything except the S's. And if I do another letter, O, I have my O's now. So now S and O are a part of this correct string right here. And so whatever is not in that correct string gets replaced by a dash. And that's pretty much it right there. And if everything, well, after you replace everything, instead of replacing it with a dash in this case for the win scenario, replace everything that's incorrect with nothing. And if nothing is left, then you won. And if something's left, then you haven't guessed them all right. So you have a win. So keep guessing. And is there anything else cool in here? Nah, not really. Oh, the sort. The sort. So when you got your guesses here at the bottom, it actually sorts them. So if I add an A, it'll add it to the beginning. As you can see in the guesses. If I add a Z, it'll add it to the end. If I guess something in the middle, it'll be in the middle. So at the beginning, before I started, when I first made my first prototype, it added all the letters in sequential order. If I guessed a Z first, Z would be first. If I guessed an A next, A would be the last one, and it wouldn't be in order. So I'm like, let's try to fix that up a little bit. So I have this sort method right here, and all it's doing is a bubble sort. And if you know anything about programming, if you've taken an algorithms course, bubble sort is the easiest sorting method. There are lots and lots of sorting algorithms out there. Bubble sort is the easiest. It just compares the first value with the second value. If it's less than, you swap them. And that's pretty much it. It takes the longest to do because it has to compare basically every value with every other value, more or less. So it's not very efficient, but with this program there's only like 26 letters possible, and that's not too hard to sort. And that is my HangMan program. Thanks for watching. And I'm also working on a new program. It's an RPG, if you know anything about video games. What am I talking about? Role-playing game. RPG, role-playing game. And it's just going to be text-based, and you can like fight stuff or whatever. It's not very exciting because it's text-based, but it's going to be pretty cool. You'll have levels and XP, and you can rank up and collect items, and that's going to take me a little while to write. I've written the first little part, which is actually a save file, so you can actually like save your progress. It'll save it to a file, and when you start the game, it'll read in that file and read all your stats and load those up. So that'll be pretty cool. Probably take me a while to do. We'll see how it goes. Hopefully it'll be semi-interesting or something. But yeah, thanks for watching.